Everyone says they don't want war. Leaders on TV smile and repeat the word peace. But if peace is real, why does the whole world look like it's preparing for a fight? Drones buzz over borders. Jets scream into the sky. Submarines slide into the sea like sharks. And nations move their armies like chess pieces. The question is chilling. If no one wants war, why does everything look like war is coming? In the last 48 hours alone, drones struck homes in Eastern Europe, fighter jets scrambled, and families hid in basements. None of this feels like peace. It feels like the world is one small step away from a storm. So ask yourself, is peace just a mask? Hiding the truth? Poland. Families there were watching TV when suddenly Russian drones crossed the sky. One smashed into a building, shaking people awake to a new fear. Poland called NATO for urgent talks, claiming its safety was under threat. Romania reported the same, drones slipping into its skies. These weren't mistakes. They were warnings. Leaders tell the public not to worry, but behind closed doors, they rush jets, close airports, and move missile systems east. Soldiers train in frozen fields. Families hear the rumble of tanks near their towns, and whispers spread. This hasn't happened since the Second World War. The air is heavy like before a thunderstorm. No one admits it out loud, but deep inside, everyone wonders, what happens if just one drone kills the wrong person at the wrong time? Europe is nervous. You can see it in the airports shutting down, in the jets scrambling at night, in the way radar screens glow with dots that shouldn't be there. NATO swears it is not preparing for war, but it is quietly moving east, step by step. Poland, Romania, and the Baltic states are packed with new air defenses. Civilian planes are rerouted, avoiding dangerous skies. People still go to work, kids still go to school, but everyone feels something. The streets are calm, but the silence is too heavy. It's what experts call a shadow posture, a way of saying we're ready, but we don't want to say it out loud. Yet, if Poland is attacked, every NATO country, including America, must respond. That's the treaty. That's the trap. While Europe fortifies, Russia answers with fire. Hypersonic missiles roar into the sky, moving so fast no NATO defense can stop them. Russian bombers fly long routes over icy seas, close enough to trigger alarms. Jets scramble, fuel burns, tension builds. These aren't random drills. They're messages. We can strike you before you blink. Meanwhile, deep inside Russia, Ukrainian drones ignite oil refineries, lighting up the night. In return, Russia hammers Ukraine's power plants with missiles. None of this ends the war, it only makes it burn hotter. Analysts call it threat diplomacy. Each move forces the enemy to think twice, but every action feeds fear, and fear is dangerous. The question now, is Russia just flexing its muscles or daring NATO to move closer to the line? This is no longer about land, it's about fear. Russia wants NATO to hesitate. NATO wants Russia to stop. Each side waits for the other to blink. But waiting has a cost. Every day, NATO burns fuel, money, and time scrambling to answer Russia's signals. Every day, Russia risks losing more refineries, more power, more pride. The longer this continues, the heavier the price. And heavy prices push leaders to make rash choices. One mistake, one misread radar blip, one soldier pressing the wrong button could turn this waiting game into disaster. Everyone whispers about peace, but the silence between actions feels louder than words. Far from Europe, another storm brews. America sends F-35 jets to Puerto Rico. Officially, it's about deterrence. Unofficially, it's a warning to Venezuela. Caracas calls it hostile, claiming America is preparing to strike. Now, American jets sit minutes away from contested airspace. One wrong move, one miscalculation, and the Caribbean becomes the next flashpoint. To the average person, this feels far away, but in truth, every move ties together like strings on a map. The more fronts America stretches across, the thinner its defenses become. And thin defenses mean higher risks. Meanwhile, China sharpens its tone. It warns the Philippines. Stop patrols in the South China Sea or face unpredictable consequences. The South China Sea carries a third of the world's trade. Imagine if one small clash there shut down shipping lanes. Overnight, gas prices rise, markets shake, and ordinary families feel the ripple at the pump. That's how global this has become. One small spark in Asia could burn wallets in America. And yet, despite warnings, Philippine ships keep sailing. Each day, tension climbs higher. North Korea steps in, as it always does, with threats. Kim Jong-un's sister warns, "Stop your drills with South Korea or face consequences." Rumors swirl that Pyongyang might change its nuclear policy, meaning more missile tests are coming. Each launch drags American forces closer, pulling resources from Europe or the Middle East. North Korea thrives on chaos, and chaos is what the world already has too much of. If they launch again, it won't just shake South Korea. It will stretch America even thinner. Then comes a shock no one expected. Israel strikes inside Qatar, claiming Hamas leaders were hiding there. Qatar isn't just another country. It hosts the biggest U.S. airbase in the region. Striking there is crossing a red line. Suddenly, Gulf nations worry. If war spreads, will they be dragged in too? Ordinary people far away from Europe wake up to sirens and smoke. The map of crisis grows wider, the pressure heavier. While the world watches Europe, the U.S. quietly shifts pieces everywhere. More jets in Poland, more tanks in the Baltics, more missiles pointed east. Soldiers pack bags. Families back home whisper, "Are we going to war?" The Pentagon calls it deterrence. But to ordinary people, it looks like the start of mobilization. War isn't just fought with missiles, it's fought with money. America pushes NATO to stop buying Russian oil, warning that every dollar fuels Moscow's war. But cutting off oil means prices soar everywhere. Gas pumps in Paris, heating bills in New York, food markets in Africa, everyone pays. Sanctions sound powerful, but their bite hurts everyone. And when people struggle, anger rises. Anger, history shows, often fuels conflict even more. Not all wars are fought with guns. In the shadows, hackers strike. Banks, hospitals, and power grids face threats from state-backed cyber teams. America warns, harden defenses, prepare for blackouts, protect your data. A missile can destroy a building. A cyber attack can paralyze a nation without firing a shot. For the first time, ordinary families realize this war could hit their homes through a computer screen. In quiet towns across America, factories hum at night. Workers build missiles, shells, submarine parts. This isn't open mobilization, it's preparation. Governments don't say it on TV, but industry whispers the truth. They are preparing for something bigger. When welders work extra shifts and mines dig deeper for rare materials, it means leaders expect tomorrow's needs will be heavier than today's. Across the Pacific, Australia spends billions on nuclear-powered submarines. These aren't nuclear-armed, but they can hide underwater for months, striking anywhere silently. America, Britain, and Australia unite in AUKUS, a pact to counter China. Shipyards expand, workers build, submarines glide into the ocean. Quietly, another wall of power rises. Not for today, but for the storm leaders believe is coming. Analysts whisper about a twin hemisphere strategy, Europe in the west, the Pacific in the east. America splits its forces between two poles, preparing to fight on either side of the world. It's insurance against a nightmare, war in two places at once. But spreading power thin has risks. Can one nation carry the weight of both hemispheres if both explode at once? Each move is explained as defense. Each shift is framed as deterrence. But seen together, they look like preparations for war. This is the fog of preparation, where peace and conflict blur. Deterrence becomes a mirror. Every move looks threatening to the other side, and mirrors once cracked can't be fixed. Experts warn of a deterrent spiral. NATO moves east. Russia fires missiles. America shifts jets. China issues warnings. Each step answered with another, until the steps form a circle, a trap, tightening tighter. At some point, one more move will snap the chain. The world is walking in circles, but each circle smaller than the last. Poland says it's at its closest point to war since World War II. Decision time could be hours, not weeks. Families stock food. Soldiers stay on alert. Phones buzz with emergency signals. Leaders still smile on TV, but their eyes tell another story. Silence spreads, and in silence, danger grows. History shows wars rarely start with one big decision. They start with small moves, small sparks, small mistakes. A drone crossing a border, a missile hitting the wrong target, a ship refusing to move. Each little moment could be the trigger. Have we already crossed the invisible line? Or is the line still ahead, waiting for one final step? Now we reach the question no one dares to say out loud. Are leaders really trying to prevent war? Or are they preparing to fight one while pretending otherwise? Everywhere you look, Europe, Asia, the Middle East, the world feels like a chessboard seconds before the first move. And the truth is haunting. The more nations prepare to stop war, the more they prepare to start it. The spring is wound tight. One more turn and it may snap. So ask yourself, are we watching the last days of peace? Without even knowing it?